Alright, let's begin. What's going on, everyone? Al Fisher here, and what we have right in front of us is the Stellar X3 microphone by TZ Audio Products. So in this video, we are going to be showcasing some of the performances and settings of this microphone, and we will be comparing it to its predecessor, the Stellar X2. I have had this microphone for a good bit. It was probably... This is probably the second batch after Mike Delgadio over at Booth Junkies did his review on the microphone, and I have been loving it. Now, I'm sure many of you don't actually know who I am, so let me tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Al Fisher, and I am an amateur voice actor. Now, I say amateur because I have not yet gotten professional coaching on voice acting. I am still out of my dorm room, and I currently work out of a PVC booth in the corner of my dorm room on my campus. So, naturally, not a professional yet. But we're getting there. Now, I am in no way an audio professional, an audio engineer, or anything like that. So if you're looking for a really in-depth and analytical video on this microphone, I'm sorry, but I'm not the place. What I am, however, is one of you. I'm someone who got hooked on the Texzone audio product microphones after watching Booth Junkies' video, immediately went out to pre-order one, saw they were out of stock, waited for them to come back in stock to then order them, and I have just been loving it ever since. I'm someone that is not a professional but is trying to be and is trying to take in all the information I can from those around me doing these kinds of videos to best spend my money on microphone products. Since I was someone who immediately went out and pre-ordered this microphone as soon as I heard about it, I want to try and help you guys figure out if it's actually worth the money to you. So we will be running some various comparisons with the X2, we will be doing some showcasing of the features that this microphone has, and we'll be taking it into my PVC booth to figure out in a non-echoey and reverby scenario, how does it perform? So when they first announced this microphone, there were three things that really stood out to me. This microphone includes a high-pass filter, a 10 decibel pad, and its recorded A-weighted self-noise was below 8 decibels. Combine all of that into a sub $400 package, $300 specifically if you pre-ordered. I think it's around $350 now if you didn't pre-order. It's pretty impressive. But I hear what you're saying. At this point, at least for the high-pass filter and the 10 decibel pad, there's a lot of microphones that can offer that. So let's see how they work. Now, switching over to the Stellar X2, which does in fact screw into the shock mount that comes with the Stellar X3, fun fact, we are going to be just giving you guys a little physical comparison between these two microphones. Aside from the size difference and the general change in design, you can see the high-pass filter is here on the left, and the 10 decibel pad is over on the right. It's just a switch that you flick on and off, on and off. So if you do want to use them while recording and you just flick it on and off, when you're going back to review your audio, you will very easily figure out where it is, because you're going to get that click. Let's switch back over to the Stellar X3 and mess around with the 10 decibel pad and the high-pass filter. And just a note, as we transition back to this microphone, we are using the exact same gain settings on my interface, and I am maintaining the same distance between both mics, at least to the best of my ability, so I can get the most accurate one-to-one representation. Now, first off, let's switch on the high-pass filter. Now, for those of you who don't know what a high-pass filter is, it kind of sets a cap at what frequencies it will capture to get rid of a proximity effect when you get closer to the microphone, as well as cutting out some little mumblings that might be in the background. Because my setting for recording this right now is in my dorm room, we do have distractions like my computer right in front of us, my mini fridge over there, so there might still be some mumblings that get by. My hope is that once we move into the booth for our comparison, we will have a better representation of what to expect out of this. Next up, we're going to be messing around with the 10 decibel pad. Now, normally this is used when you are trying to record yelling or just some sort of loud audio and you don't want to risk peaking. So let's turn that on. And now, as I'm sure many of you know, we've gotten a lot quieter. Something that I'm sure a few of you microphone enthusiasts will also want to know is, if I snap all the way around this thing, how does it pick up sound that's not directly in front of it? So let's figure it out. Now, just for shits and giggles, I'm going to turn the high pass filter on and the 10 decibel pad on and do the same thing. First, the high pass filter. Now the pad. There we go. So let's move on into my booth and do some more comparisons directly between the Stellar X2 and the X3. So here we are talking with the Stellar X3 microphone still. None of the filters are on, we are just talking into it normally in that general wide finger-to-finger distance apart. So if this is what you are going to be recording as, this is what it's going to sound like. So now we have the high-pass filter on, and so in a sound-treated setting, not just in my general dorm room where there's echo and reverb, this is what it's going to be sounding like. And now we have the 10 decibel pad on, and as I'm sure you know, it's a lot quieter. But if I were to be yelling right now, just making my case in a very angry way... you guys would know. It's a lot better. So another thing I wanted to show you guys is the proximity effect of the X3. So I'm just going to be talking as I normally do, just getting closer and closer to the microphone. I'm not getting quieter, I'm just continuing my talking, but now I can get a little quieter, you know, maybe like a little bit of a whispery kind of tone. But now I'm just going to get real up close, guys. But now I'm going to be bringing it back a little bit. So now we're going to turn the high-pass filter on and do the same exact thing. So now we're going to get closer and closer and just ever so close to the microphone to where I could probably kiss it if I really wanted to. But just hear how it's affecting my voice. Now we're going to go back and back and back and just continue on with this conversation with ourselves in an iPhone, in a dorm room, in a whatever this fort is, and we're going to now be transitioning over to the X2. And now here we are with the Stellar X2. Now remember, this is not the vintage, this is not the warm version of this microphone with the K47 capsule. This is the general, standard, neutral tone sounding X2. Now this is what it's going to be sounding like in an audio-treated place in comparison. We are at the same distance away, we are in the same exact spot. I literally just unplugged it, unscrewed it, screwed this one in, and plugged it in. That's literally all we've done so far. So we're going to be doing the same exact proximity test effect just to figure out how much of a difference it actually is. So we're going to be getting closer and just closer and closer to this microphone, really getting up in it because I love this microphone. I want to give it a smooch. Mwah. I really want to give it all that I've got. Just, oodles and oodles of love. And now we're going to back it up, and we're going to back it up, and we're just going to be nice and gentle. It denied us. That's okay. We're not going to be pushy because that would be bad. And now we're back at our normal recording distance. So let's bring it back in front of my camera, back to the blue background, and just give some final thoughts. So just a reminder that these comparisons that we've been making has been with the exact same audio interface, the exact same equipment, the exact same gain settings. The only things that we swapped out were unplugging this microphone, unscrewing it from the shock mount, screwing in the other one, and plugging it in. There has been literally no difference outside of what microphone we've been using. So if this does require some different gain adjustments in order to be maximized to its full potential, we were not catching that. Now again, I'm not an audio professional in any way. I'm an amateur voice actor doing what I can out of my dorm room in college. So we're not perfect. If you were looking for that perfect audio video, like I said in the beginning, you should look elsewhere. I want you guys to look at the comparisons we've been making and figure out for yourself, is this worth $350 so? Being that I literally unboxed this microphone today, I have not had enough experience personally with this microphone to definitively tell you if yes or no it's worth the money. But what I did want to give you guys was a definitive comparison to another microphone that they have and that they offer, and show you guys the difference and both how far they've come, because this was the second second phase of their first microphone that they came out with, and this is the most recent. So with that being said, I'm just one moron telling you about a microphone that I got and showing it off against another microphone that I already had. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, hopefully you guys took something out of this. Hopefully it was actually informative and not a waste of everyone's time. And with that, I'm going to end this video. I hope you enjoyed. Certainly let me know if you did.